I got the money from the second grade.
Good work, Charlie. A nickel bet. 4 cents. The measly allowances kids get is hardly worth the trouble. Where's the 20 cents Tommy Perkins owes us?
He doesn't have it yet. Said his parents will pay him next time he loses a tooth.
Want me to help him lose it?
Nah, save the rough stuff for 50 cents and up. 8 winners on $1. Hang on, Harvey. Let me check my copy. You've only marked 7, Harvey. What are you trying to pull? See? 41's marked in my card. I just didn't press hard enough for the carbon, that's all. So pay up. I run a clean game, Harvey. Take your $1 back and leave. Look, Cessna, you can't throw me out of... Beat it! Hey, we didn't need his cooties anyway. Nene, pass out the cards for the next game. Charlie?
Yeah.
Think you can get bets for the 4th grade, too?
Sure. I'll tell Mrs. Cooper I gotta check the radiator.
All right, it's Keno time again. Pick your numbers, everybody. 60 balls in the air, and I grab the first 15 and pop out the bottom. 8 out of 15 pays 2 to 1 on a quarter. 9 out of 15, 3 to 1. 10 out of 15. Mr. Rocco.
So this is where the 6th grade spends its recess.
You can skin your knees on the blacktop.
Shut up, Dickie. This is a school, not a Turkish bath. Everyone out.
Forget it, Skip. The house is losing today anyway.
I just don't understand you, Dickie. Why don't you apply your leadership potential and all of the energies which you devote to running these scams to legitimate school activities?
You don't pay as well. So what's it gonna be? Note from our parents? No trips to the zoo?
Oh, no. I think we are past that stage.
spending. Hey, Buggles did us a favor. All he ever teaches is a bunch of junk. We could never use in business. I mean, who cares what the capital of South Dakota is? We always get caught. Don't start that, Nene. We always get caught. Look, this time it was just as well. Charlie was charging us $8 an hour for protection and collection. No second and third graders with bad credit risk. We got bigger things in store for us. I bet they're right around here. Hey, wait up.
Come on, Dickie. You always stop here.
Will you look at this, Nene?
It looks the same way it did yesterday. So they put more traps in the gopher holes.
You know what this means? A resort right here in Ramona. It'll mean people be coming here from all over California. From all over the country. It's a gold mine, Nene. Right in our own backyard. You and me been hustling for nickels and dimes long enough. This is our chance to start making the big bucks.
No way, Jose. I'm retiring. I said I'm retiring. From now on, I'm only selling cookies for the campfire girls.
Nene, is that what you want out of life? Cookies? A Kool-Aid stand? A lousy paper route? Is that what it's about for you?
It is for now. I'm only in the 4th grade.
So you waste your time goofing around on the playground. Before you know it, you'll be in high school. Then you gotta get good grades so you can go to college. Then you gotta get good grades in college so you can get a job. You know what? You'll be working for somebody else making them money. Only in the 4th grade. You better start wising up before it's too late.
Too late. Thinking I'm 3 years and 2 weeks away from my first period.
That's no excuse. This is the land of great opportunity. For kids, too. You think the Declaration of Independence says life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for grown-ups only?
I don't know. We don't say the Declaration of Independence till next semester. If they let me back in.
Okay, be a housewife. Just don't say I didn't warn you.
We're a little lost. Do you think you could help us out?
We'll try, sir.
You know where Oak Tree Lane is?
Sure do.
Yes, sir. You go back the way you came, turn left at the end of this road, then just keep going till you see the sign.
How far?
Pretty far. Just keep going south.
I thought it was in Country Estates.
Well, it is, sir, but they own a second piece of land just outside Ramona. I directed him in there just yesterday.
Okay, thanks.
He was nice enough to give me a quarter.
Pretty smart for your age, aren't you?
Thank you very much, sir. Lousy dime.
Dickie, you sent us.
Of course I did. Those guys are feds. Come on. We gotta implement Condition Red.
Shit.
Condition Red! Condition Red! Condition Red! Condition Red! Come on! Don't give me that call right now! Come on! No, Brian, well, we're not hungry now.
$15.23. Looks more like a barn than a castle.
Cessna's too smart to have anything plush on the outside. We've come a long way to nail this clown. Let's go. Looks like a converted stable.
Sounds like it's not converted yet.
Yes?
Mrs. Cessna?
No, I'm her daughter, June. My parents are out now. Can I help you?
I'm Philip Przynski. This is Mel Sloman. We're with the Board of Taxation in San Diego.
San Diego? Do you know a sailor named Bill? He said he'd be back from Thailand in the spring. I'm Bette Cessna. You want to come in and wait till my folks get home?
No, honey. I think we've seen enough.
Yes, we will come in and wait.
Come on.
Oh, my God.
Would you like something to eat? We've got oatmeal, puffed oats, and oat pudding.
No thanks, honey. We've already eaten.
If you don't mind, we would like a tour of your home.
These are all our stalls. This is Big Red, Buttercup, Blackjack, my little sister Nene and my brother Dickie, Slowpoke.
Wait a minute. You kids sleeping here?
Dickie and Nene do. Me and June have this one over here. But I'm going to get my own stall when I have my... There, June. It's okay. That's about it for the tour. Unless you want to see the manure pile.
We've seen enough, sweetheart. We'll be heading back now. You kids take care of yourself.
Mel, don't be in such a hurry to leave.
Mr. Przynski?
Przynski.
Przynski. Please, look for Bill. I can't remember the full name of his ship, but I know the first three letters are USS.
I'll do the best I can.
Thank you.
Przynski? Sloman? Hello, Mr. Cessna.
What's going on here? We just wanted to look at your new surroundings, Mr. Cessna.
And they were just leaving, Daddy?
We'll report your circumstances back to the board and just make payments as you're able, and don't worry.
All right.
Just how did this little masquerade come about? Ooh. All right, Dickie, come on. You suffered enough. Let's go. One of the colts got loose. Dickie. I don't enjoy giving you pen duty, Dickie. But when you behave the way you did yesterday, you don't give me much choice. Getting in trouble at school and talking your sisters into tricking government agents.
But, Dad, last week you said those guys are a couple of
All right. Maybe I called them a few names I shouldn't have. At least in front of you. But I still intend to play by the rules. Now, if I have to lose that case, heaven forbid, I'll pay those tax guys everything they think I owe them. That's my responsibility. Now, you've got responsibilities, too. To Nene.
She gets 20%.
She also gets suspended from school thanks to you.
Sorry about that, Dad. But I think school's overrated. You know, we go in here and study guys like Ford and Rockefeller, who dropped out of school to make millions. You always say find a way. Well, I needed some extra money, and that Keno game was perfect.
Not if it breaks the school rules. I think you gotta stop fleecing your classmates in Keno games and numbers rackets. Start showing them a little respect.
Even Harvey Peterjohn?
Even Harvey Peterjohn. Now, can I have your promise? You won't cook up any more schemes at school?
Okay, Dad. I promise. No more schemes. At school.
Slide.
Harvey, I thought I told you to keep your eye on the ball. They don't grow on trees.
Brutus thinks it's in here, too.
Brutus is probably commenting on your backswing. You've lost me enough balls today. From now on, you just caddy. Come on. Brutus!
Nene! How many balls today? 23. And one case of pneumonia. I should have stayed retired. Come on. This is the best deal I ever offered you. Equal partners. Equal punishment. It's in the bag.
Mr. Clark, Richard Cessna's here to see you.
Don't tell me the riding stable's screwing up, too.
Richard Cessna, Jr., and his sister Janine.
Florence, I've got a 3,000-acre development to take care of. Now, just buy a couple of raffle tickets, or whatever it is they're pushing, and get rid of them.
It's not a raffle. It's a service.
Hold it. Just where did you get all these golf balls?
They're all over, sir. Golfers are too lazy to crawl around after lost balls. So, me and my assistant here, me and my partner, are kids. And we enjoy doing it. So, when we know you need used golf balls for your driving range, so we thought we'd show you how many we could collect in a week, and you'd be real impressed and put us on your payroll. Is it a deal?
Okay, listen. I already pay a couple of fellas to take care of that.
Come on, Harvey.
Get that dog!
Well, it isn't the suspended Cessnas.
You want to see me, Jim?
That's right, Orville. There's a mistake on the new rates you sent me. Just let me get rid of these kids.
No mistake, Jim.
Get him out of here.
There is no mistake.
Orville. This would be a 50% increase.
My operating expenses have really mushroomed. I am sorry, Jim.
These children better wait outside.
I don't know about those children, but I encourage Harvey here to listen to anything that has to do with my business.
Put your fingers in your ears. Okay, bullshitter. Why don't you just put a mask on and break into my safe?
Look here, Jim.
You're just trying to rob me blind. Just because you're the only fertilizer company in this whole goddamn town, you're not gonna screw me royal. Understand?
Harvey, what we have here is a dissatisfied customer, and rather than take his abuse, we tell him to buy from a competitor. If he can find one. Come along, son.
Dad, look, it's one of our balls.
I said, come along.
That mud pissed on my putting green. I ought to take that disgusting dog of yours and shove him up your ass. God! All right. What was I saying?
I ought to take that disgusting dog and shove him
I
up.
remember. Take your fingers out of your ears. I was saying, I already pay a couple of fellas to take care of my golf course. That includes looking for lost balls. You see, if there aren't any balls for them to find, they're being paid for a job they can't do. In other words, each ball you have there is costing me around 20 cents in unearned salary to my employees. From now on, you stick to the schoolyard.
It's in the bag.
Leave the golf course alone.
Let's face it, Dickie. It's a grown-up world. They own everything. They run everything. We're just here to mow the lawns. Let's go home, Dickie. We have chores to do.
Nah, you go ahead. I'll stay and watch him seed the banks for a while.
Sorry, kid.
Don't worry, Nene. It's chemical fertilizer. Dad?
Oh, son.
Yeah, Dad, what does your contract with the country state say about manure?
Says it's my responsibility to get rid of it. Dickie, some joker's been springing my gopher traps.
What if I wanted to keep it?
Keep what?
All the manure.
Son, if you're looking for a hobby, I think you'd be better off collecting stamps.
How many horses do we take care of?
Well, the riding horses and the show horses, thoroughbreds, I think it comes to 172. Why?
Too big for just me and Nene.
Dickie? Another one of your schemes?
Oh, no, Ned. This is legit. Nene! We're back in business! All right. I think we're ready to start out. Remember, keep your feet in the stirrups. Betty, I gotta talk to you.
Dickie, can't you see I'm busy here?
Oh, did you tell him about the moose trail?
Dickie!
Excuse me? What trail?
Well, we can start you out around that way, and there's a good chance you might see a wild moose feeding in the woods. It's only $1 a piece extra.
1ドル出せば見れるって。どうする？おう、そう？
たくさん写真撮りたい。
We'll take the moose trail, thank you.
Look, to be honest, I really don't think it's worth the extra $1.
The moose trail, thank you.
Let Nene do it. We gotta talk.
Darn right we do, you sweep. You know what Dad'll do when he finds out you're pulling that moose trail stunt again?
In times of emergencies, you gotta take risks. Me and Nene need every buck we can get for our new business. And we need you to come in with us.
Ha! I haven't recovered from last summer's losses.
Hey! Betty, this isn't some two-bit Keno game. This is legit, and we can make a fortune.
They're coming!
You gonna go in with us, Betty?
N-O. No.
Why not?
Because I've already got chores to do each day. And I want to devote the rest of my time to getting good grades.
Well, now what kind of talk is that?
I want to be a doctor. And medical schools only take the best students.
Nitwit, it'll be 20 years before you can become a doctor.
So what?
So what? You watch the news. Neutron bombs, nuclear plants, pollution. What do you think the world's going to be like in 20 years? There won't be any air you can breathe, and you won't have any gas for your car, and all your food will be full of chemicals. Look, don't wait. Get the money now, while there's still some stuff you can spend it on.
Nice try. But I think I'll take my chances.
They're coming. Look, Betty. Now, we can't do this without you. Now, I know you've got this crush on Neil Brody. That's a crock of shit. Hey, it's all for a good cause. But if you come in with us, I promise I can set you up with Neil.
He doesn't even know I'm alive.
Look, Neil's the editor of the Daily Bugle. And what we're gonna do is gonna be our own story. When he asks us for an interview, well...
Understand, I still don't like the childish two-bit stunts you pulled in the past. This is different. Count me in. But don't breathe a word about my diary to anyone. Especially Neil.
Would Macy's tell Gimbals? Nene, how could you let me do
I know, Junie, but I had to buy some parts for my car. Flat.
Just pretend I'm flat too.
Come on, Junie. There's nothing we do at the drive-in that we can't do. Right here. Right?
I don't know. I want to go to the drive. What? Frank, stop it. Yeah.
Junie,
Dickie, what? You're never going to get June to join us. That's what Nene said about you. Dickie! Hi, June. Hi, Frank. Daddy said you're not allowed out of your room. You almost scared those tourists back to Tokyo.
Oh, I know, June. But I gotta talk to you about something important.
It can wait.
No, it can't.
Yes, it can, Dickie. No, it can't, Junie. You don't get out of here, you little worm.
Listen, wait. Dickie, come here. Listen, if you decided it's not so important after all, could be worth a quarter to you.
Really now. Look, Frank, I've been hearing June beefing about you being short of cash. You know, since I've been doing, okay? Here's $10. Have a good time at the drive-in tomorrow night. Have a little snack. But tonight you gotta leave me alone with my big sister. All right? Is it a deal?
Dickie, I can't take this.
Frank, do you have any other way for paying for tomorrow night?
Oh, but...
Go ahead. I want to see what this little rodent is up to.
Okay. See you tomorrow night.
Bye, Frank. Okay, Dickie, what's up? You've never given away money in your life.
I ain't starting now. Wait till that bum sees my interest rates.
Some bum.
June, he's a teenager. He's smoking dope. He ain't got no job. He ain't got no motivation. And the only dough he gets is what his old man gives him. And he blows that on camshafts. You want to wear his ring? You'll have to buy him some Cracker Jacks.
Why are you telling me all this?
June, you got a lot of vital needs. New clothes, skin creams, gum, record albums. Your allowance can't cover it, and Frank's no help. But if you're coming with us...
Us?
We could all become as rich as Orville Peterjohn.
What are you talking about? Orville Peterjohn's the richest man in Ramona.
Mm-hmm. How do you get that way?
He's selling fertilizer.
Uh-huh. And what do we throw away piles of every day?
Dickie, it can't be that simple.
That's what they said about the guy who invented the Frisbee. Since we're going to be competing with a corporation, first we got to be a corporation. Well, that means president, vice president, secretary.
I wonder if a little big shot wants to be president, Dickie.
Well, that's one nomination. Any others?
What are we going to call our corporation?
Well, that's the next order of business. It should be something with a real ring to it, something big. How about the Cessna Girls? And Dickie, wait a minute. We're running a business here, not a circus act. I got it. I got it. The Shovel-Uppers. Don't you get it? We're gonna be shoveling up the manure. Now look, we need something with class. Like AT&T, IBM, Arco.
Dickie, I don't know if we should go that far. After all, we are just kids.
contract. Official contract between Kidco Dickie Cessna, President, and San Diego Country Estates. Number 1. San Diego Country Estates hereby officially hires Kidco to supply it with homemade fertilizer TF.
True or false?
Oh, I see. All right. Number 2. San Diego Country Estates hereby agrees to pay Kidco the cheap sum of $4 a cubic yard for said fertilizer TF. Well, that'll depend on the answer to number 1. Number 3. Said sum will be paid A, in advance. B, most in advance, some at the end of the month. C, some in advance, most at the end of the month. D, none of these. I've been reading contracts for 35 years. I've never read one quite like this. Number 4. San Diego Country Estates agrees to A, give, B, loan, C, rent Kidco a motorized golf cart for the purpose of helping them finish all deliveries before their bedtime.
You've got a lot of them out there.
And I get $10 every time I rent one. So, I think I'll circle C, rent, for number 4. Number 5. This contract cannot be canceled unless Kidco screws up.
That's your safety clause.
Well, I must admit, you sure as hell show a lot of initiative. Let's face it, you're just a bunch of kids. I can't risk it.
Mr. Clark, when you wanted to go to the country estates, what if everyone told you you've got a lot of initiative, but you're just a grown-up?
That's different.
Why? We can't help how old we are. You need a job done, and we say we can do it. And you can't hate us any worse than you do Mr. Peterjohn. And we're doing it for you for a lot less money. We're just asking you to give us a chance. Please.
Do you know what a raspberry is?
Hello, Orville. Jim Clark here. How are you? Listen, Orville, I've been thinking about your new prices, and I've come to a decision. Yeah, here it is. Listen carefully.
Louise,
Yes, sir.
something stinks around here, and I don't like the smell. I want it investigated.
Right away, sir.
you home?
Yep.
Looks like thanks to Dickie, I'm becoming your best customer.
Yep.
Nice talking to you.
Yep.
Come in.
It's after 10, son. Time to put away your homework.
I did that a long time ago. This is Kidco business.
Dickie, you know I'm proud of you and your sisters for starting your own business, but... Well... Do you know what an obsession is?
Oh, sure. It's like when a guy looks up girls' dresses.
Well, yeah, that's one kind of obsession, but... An obsession means that you get so wrapped up in one thing that you forget all the other important things in your life. And I wouldn't want to see that happen with you and Kidco. Would you?
No, Pop.
Okay. Kidco can wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow, let me hear your prayers.
There's never enough hours in the day. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And if I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take. And Nene, Betty, and June can split up my share of the business. Night, Dad.
Sleep tight, son.
Does being at Kidco take up all your time on the weekends?
No, not all of it. Dickie and Nene have the first shift on Saturday. That means I'm free every Saturday afternoon. Neil? For example, if someone wanted to take me to the Saturday matinee at the Ramona, I'd be able to go.
Okay, I guess I'll do it.
We could talk more after school.
No, I think we're kind enough for story. Have a nice summer, Betty.
196 cubic yards of manure at $4 a yard. That's $784.
Pretty good first month.
Wait till Neil sees me in a apartment at $20 a Whoa! We're running a business here. We reinvest in this in Kidco. All of it? We need more wagons and shovels. We gotta establish credit, and we gotta take out advertising.
What do we need advertising for?
Yeah, there happens to be a ton of flower and vegetable growers between here and San Diego. But come on, let's go.
Who are they?
Customers. The power of advertising.
Balance of $30.
And thank you, Tiny.
No, thank you, little lady. It was worth driving a few extra miles to save 30 bucks. Hey, I'll see you next week.
Can we make it 2 weeks? We have to give the horses time to do their best work.
Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Come on, Mom, let's go.
See you later, Tiny. Come on, Tiny.
God, Junie.
Frank, I've been shoveling shit all afternoon. I have an English paper to write for Monday. I'm too tired.
Junie, you haven't been the same ever since you started working.
Frank, if you weren't always so broke,
I wouldn't have to work. All right, Frank, $10 loan plus $2 interest plus 50 cents a day late penalty.
Screw off, Dickie.
I think it's time for a young man about to enter his teens to have his own bank account. Harvey, we are going to start you off with a brand new $10 bill.
Well, this must be your big day, Harvey.
Yes, sir. A penny saved is a penny earned.
Here you are.
Mr. Sounds, excuse me.
Jenkins, can't you see that I'm busy with Mr. Peter John and little Mr. Peter John?
Yes, I see, sir, but I thought you'd want to know about the new account. You see, sir, they want to deposit $30,000 in cash.
Jenkins, get security over here.
Security's taken care of. Dad, that's my account.
Earn your own money.
So it was a real prosperous summer for Kidco. As a matter of fact, we're thinking of getting into communications. So if someone wanted to ask me on a date, they just so happen to be a newspaper man, I could write it off as a business expense. You wouldn't even have to pay a penny.
Okay, thanks. Nice talking to you, Betty.
I am losing farmers who've been buying from me for 20 years.
I don't know what we can do.
Oh, yeah? I'll tell you one thing I can do. I can bounce a bumbling detective who can't take care of 4 little brats peddling homemade horse shit. You are fired! Harvey!
Yeah?
I want to see you.
I'm in the bathroom, Dad.
Now. Harvey! I want you to arrange something for me.
Dickie. What do you want, Harvey? Harvey, I'm a busy kid. Oh. Dickie, it's such a hot day. I thought maybe you'd like to come to my mansion for a swim. And bring your lovely sisters with you. Well, we've got a pretty full schedule. But I think we can stop in for a minute. Good.
Hamburgers and hot dogs are being served. Let's go, kids. I don't know what's got into him today. Normally he's loud. Young ladies, sit over there. Robert?
Dickie, sir.
Milkshakes. Don't forget the milkshakes.
This is really swell of you, Mr. Peter John.
My pleasure. As another businessman, I wanted to help celebrate Kidco's success.
We're business persons.
As another business person, I also have to do something about that success. You see, you are taking away my customers. Relax! I have a proposition that I think is going to make us all happy. I want to buy all the fertilizer you produce every month at the price you charge for it now. You don't lose a penny. I get back my accounts. Fair enough, isn't it?
Mr. Peter John, does that mean that we'd be working for you?
No. Doesn't mean you have to work for me. I could put Harvey in charge.
Sorry, Mr. Peter John, but we work alone. We don't need any grown-ups coming in and taking over.
I want you to understand something. All of you. To me, you're not just enterprising kids. To me, you are competition.
Well, may the best corporation win. We better get going now. Come on, girls, we got a lot of work to do. Bye, Mr. Peter John. See you in school, Harvey. I bet they don't even write thank you notes.
Those weren't meant for you.
We got the spelling bee champ. We got the kid from Annie. And we got the 13-year-old going to UCLA. But we still need one more.
What about this? It's from the Swarita Elementary School Bugle. 3 sisters and a brother run a corporation called Kidco. They collect horse manure and sell it as fertilizer.
It's great, but it's not exactly appetizing, is it?
Executive Secretary Bette Cessna confided to the Bugle that this summer, Kidco cleared more than $6,000 a month.
All right, now listen, we're going to be on television, so in a few minutes I want you to really give us... Now, we got 10 seconds. I want a big applause, okay? Let's rub our hands together. Get them ready. Get them good and warm. That's super. That's great. You're doing a good job. All right, we haven't got much time now. I want to hear it big and loud, and when I ask for you to respond, I want to really hear you. Got 5 seconds. Get ready now. All right, let's hear you, boys. To have you here with us. And listen, we have 4 of the most amazing guests here with us today. Would you like to meet them right now?
Dad, can't we watch something else?
Shut up, Harvey, or I will lock you in the basement.
All right. Let's bring them on with a big round of applause, okay? Come on, gang. Hi there, and who are you?
We are Kidco!
I understand that. Well, what is your name?
Dickie Cessna, president and founder.
When my research into Kidco uncovered your involvement with the Cessnas, I realized you would probably want to seize this program.
I appreciate your getting in touch with me, Mr. Peter.
Please, Orville.
Oh, you take care of all the money. How about you?
Nene, vice president.
Oh, all right. Kids, come on in and take a seat. I'll explain things. You see, in order to understand how Kidco works, we sent our Kids Are Amazing camera crew to their hometown to bring back some film. Would you like to see what they brought back? All right, look right up here. Dickie, Nene, Bette, and June live in this house in Ramona, California. Small town 40 miles northeast of San Diego. Their dad, Richard Cessna Sr., works at the San Diego Country Estates, where he takes care of 170 horses used for trail rides, horse shows, and thoroughbred racing. 170 horses make a huge amount of you know what. And Kidco mixes it with straw, lets it compost, and sells it to farmers and landscapers as fertilizers. All right. That's great. That's marvelous. Okay, let's get some questions. Hi there. What's your question?
What are you going to do with your money?
All right. What are you going to do with your money?
Well, we were thinking of a college.
Isn't that great, everybody? They're going to use their money to buy the greatest gift in the world, a college education.
No! We want to buy a college. We don't think they're teaching the right stuff. So we want to take them over.
I think we've seen enough. Harvey, turn it off. We'll take Brutus out of here and give him a bath.
Mr. Peterjohn. Orville. Let me assure you that I am going to examine that son of a bitch Cessna with a fine-toothed comb. And when I'm through with him, he's gonna be nailed on more violations than have been invented yet.
Actually, Phil, if I were you, Cessna Sr. wouldn't be the one I'd investigate.
The enclosed letters and cards represent the greatest viewer response in the 4-year history of Kids Are Amazing.
Wow.
Hey. Whoopee!
Careful with the return addresses now. These kids took the time to write to you. You can all take the time to write back.
Listen to this one. I'm 10 years old and the newly elected president of the Dickie Cessna fan club, Cleveland Heights, Ohio chapter. Dickie, could you please send us an autographed picture and a lock of your hair? I got a marriage proposal. Dickie Cessna. Dickie. Looks like I'm the people's choice.
Well, no wonder, you little big mouth. You hogged the whole interview.
Yeah, Dickie. President and founder. I thought we all found Kidco. Come on, you two didn't even want to be in it.
Well, we're in it now, you creep. And we work just as hard as you do.
Well, the public's never wronged you. Maybe it's my fiancé.
I'll get it. And you kids take it easy.
Oh, don't worry about me, Dad. I got 2 days of reading here.
I'm back.
Hi.
Nice place you have here, Cessna. I saw it on TV just last Sunday.
All right, Przezinski. All right. My kids played a prank on you. We really don't live in a stable. Still doesn't mean I owe you tax on a sale made outside California.
When you sold those horses, they were drinking out of the river. That means their heads were in California.
And their legs were still in Arizona. And 4 legs are bigger than 1 head.
Cessna, let's forget about it for now.
What?
We have bigger fish to fry.
But the children were intending to pay income tax. It's too early for it.
This is sales tax, Mrs. Cessna. It's supposed to be collected on every sale.
and paid quarterly.
And they've been selling manure for the past 3 quarters. They owe the state 6% sales tax, plus penalties for late payment, plus interest.
Penalties? Hey, we're just kids.
Do you have a seller's permit?
A what?
Because if you don't, that's a misdemeanor. And that means more penalties and an injunction against future sales till you get one.
For God's sake, Brzezinski, these are children.
They're also a corporation, and they're acting in violation of state law.
What the hell's this?
A court order for all of Kidco's records.
You ain't take my Led Zeppelin albums.
This is a different kind of records, Nene.
Slumming.
Not at all. It was my duty to alert you tax boys. Those kids were beginning to give fertilizer a bad name. Okay, Phil. Talk to you later. Bye now. Harvey, we live in a great country. Just as long as we know that the government is there to serve us. You got that?
Yes, Dad.
Talk to the schoolyard, huh?
Yeah, Dickie Cessna finally got his.
Harvey, you are about to learn a very important business principle.
What's that, Dad?
When you have your opponent on the ropes, you don't back off. You put him out. Yes, in San Diego, please. Field office, the California State Board of Agriculture.
If we break the cease and desist order in our manure operation, the Department of Agriculture says they'll take us to court. And if we don't pay penalties by November 1st, the Board of Taxation says they will too.
If we pay him everything we owe him, we're gonna have to declare bankruptcy. You think we qualify for food stamps? What do you think we should do, Dickie? Dickie? I don't know. Everything's falling apart. The government's after us. We can't make any money anymore. You were right a long time ago, Betty. Childish two-bit stunts. That's all Kidco is.
Dickie, I said that about the other things you did. Not Kidco. As a matter of fact, Kidco's the best thing I've ever been a part of. Me too, Dickie.
I like the Keno game better. But they always caught us. But Kidco's kaput. Finished.
This contract says, unless Kidco screws up. It doesn't say anything about giving up. I don't think we should. Me neither.
Me neither, too. You're right. What do those dumb butts think they're pushing around? I don't know what I'd do without you three.
Is that so?
I guess I got a little carried away lately. TV show and letters and all. Do you know what an obsession is? It's like when you get so wrapped up in one thing
that you become a royal pain in the ass.
Yeah, you could say that. Well, I'm sorry. So are we gonna stick together and fight?
With our last ounce of manure.
San Diego District Court, State of California is now in session. The Honorable Oliver T. Willoughby presiding.
You may be seated. The clerk will read the information.
The people versus the corporate officers of Kidco Incorporated. Defendants will please stand when called. Richard Cessna, Jr., President.
I'm pleased to see young people show such an interest in the judicial process. But let's remember, this is a trial, not a kickball game. The clerk will proceed.
Janine Cessna, Vice President. Bette Cessna, Secretary.
Executive Secretary.
June Cessna, Treasurer. The defendants are charged with violation of the Revenue and Taxation Code of the State of California, Article 2, Section 6071, operating a business without a sales permit. Section 7151, failure to furnish a quarterly sales tax return and violation of the Food and Agricultural Code of the State of California. Article 2, Section 11702, fertilizer production without pest control, and Section 12821, failure to list the ingredients contained in fertilizer.
How could we have done all that and still got our homework in on time?
The defendants may be seated. And who's representing the people?
George Tusky, Your Honor, from the Attorney General's office.
Mr. Tusky. And who's representing the defendants?
Me and Bette, Your Honor. And we object. He's only representing some of the people. A lot of these people are rooting for us.
We will have order in this court.
Your Honor, the prosecution urges the court to overrule the defendant's intention to serve as counsel. We feel it will render these proceedings farcical.
I object. What does farcical mean?
Will the proposed counsel for the defense approach the bench? It's my duty to warn you of the possibility of negative consequences of you representing yourselves. You know what negative consequences means?
Could be a bad idea.
That's right. There's an old saying, a man who represents himself in court has a fool for a client.
No offense, Your Honor, but if we'd have believed in old sayings like that, we never would have made a penny. Youth is wasted on the young. Children should be seen but not heard. They all sound like they were made up by some old fart who hated kids.
Be that as it may, a licensed lawyer still has the advantage of 7 years of training, 4 in college, 3 in law school.
Us kids could never trust anyone to go to school an extra 7 years on purpose. The
Supreme Court has been quite liberal on people's rights to defend themselves. It only requires that they be literate. I assume you're both literate. You can read and write?
Your Honor, I know we're kids, but give us a break.
All right, then. All the requirements having been met?
Objection, Your Honor.
On what grounds, Counselor?
It'll be plain silly.
I'll risk silliness, Mr. Tusky, to guarantee these defendants their rights. The court accepts Richard Cessna Jr. and Bette Cessna as co-counsel for the defense. But it does not accept this outcries from the gallery. Bailiff, let's get these noisemakers out of here.
So, Mr. Grundy, despite their flagrant violation of the code, initially you sought no criminal action against the officers of Kidco.
That's correct. They are children.
But then you changed your mind.
Last month, they resumed their fertilizer production, still having failed to obtain a license or to list the contents of their fertilizer. They left us no choice.
Thank you, Mr. Grundy. Your witness.
We don't want him, Your Honor.
Kidco's records list 345 separate entries of sale of manure since March of this year.
And they paid tax on?
None of them.
Thank you, Mr. Brzezinski.
Prozinski.
Your witness.
We don't want him either, Your Honor.
Mr. Sloman, were the officers of Kidco advised that they were required by law to obtain a seller's permit if engaged in the selling of taxable items?
Yes, they were.
They were. And did they obtain this permit?
No, they didn't.
Thank you, Mr. Sloman. Your witness.
Mr. Sloman, some of my baseball cards are missing, and Betty thinks you might have taken them by mistake when you clean out Kidco's records. If you find any, could you send them back, please?
Sure. Could I trade you the Maris for the Ornsby?
Thank you. No more questions, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the state's witnesses have confirmed not only the defendant's violation of the law, but a lack of repentance bordering on outright defiance. And if these youthful miscreants...
I object.
Transgressors?
I still object.
Troublemakers?
Okay, we know that one.
If these youthful troublemakers are not punished for their actions, then we will all be guilty of contributing to flagrant violation of the law by the wide-eyed children of this nation.
Kidco would like to welcome two distinguished guests to this board meeting who made it pretty clear that we'd better invite them. Mom, Dad. Okay, first order of business, what are we going to ask our witnesses?
Dickie, you don't know that yet?
Mom, when I had to give an oral report on Last of the Mohicans, I read it the night before, and I still got a B+.
Now, kids, I know we've been through all this before, but your mother and I have friends who are experienced attorneys. They'd be more than happy to lend you a hand.
But, Dad, they ain't kids. Look, we got ourselves into this, and we're going to get ourselves out of it. We ain't going to go run into any grown-ups to do it for us. That's what Kidco is all about. Don't worry. We'll think of something. Hi, Neil. Have you seen the San Diego paper? We're in it? In it? You're on the front page. They're all out there to interview you. One of them's from the network news.
Well, he looks like you're on TV tonight.
I'm already all over the morning papers.
All over the morning paper? Ollie, you're all over. That story was picked up by the wire services. Kidco sells the manure, but State wants its own pile, the Chicago Tribune. Government sniffs as kids pile up the loot, the New York Times. Kids gelt smelt, Jewish Daily Forward. You can guess who the public's gonna side with.
I can't help that, Sid. Tusky built up a very strong case yesterday.
Ollie, I'm not getting through to you. You have to run for re-election. And nobody's gonna vote for a mean old man who sends 4 little kids up the river.
Sid, aren't you exaggerating a little?
Am I? What happened to the witch who tried to stick Hansel and Gretel in the oven?
June, stay away from the cameras. What? We're supposed to be kids. Kids ain't got bazongas like that. Mr. Ruggles, how many times did you see me and Defendant Nene in your office last year?
Well, there was the football pool, the roulette table, wholesale cafeteria food, fire drill bingo, Keno, We forge pink slips, rent a third grader. 7, that I recall.
And how many times since we started Kidco?
Well, none, I'm amazed to say.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Clark, you've employed Kidco for 9 months. Would you say we've done a good job?
Yes, I would.
Your Honor, the prosecution objects to this whole line of testimony. Whether or not the officers of Kidco did a good job, whether or not they get in any less trouble at school, these are not the issues that are being tried here.
Counsel?
My co-counsel brother will handle that objection.
Your Honor, we see kids getting in trouble all the time. And we see stories in the papers and on TV about all the juvenile delinquency. Who knows? If me and Nene wouldn't have gotten into Kidco, we might have kept up our evil ways and wound up in reform school. But we went straight, Your Honor. Now we work hard, stay off the streets, and we don't break any windows. This big jerk...
Your Honor, I object.
This jerk says if we don't get punished for what we did, it'll encourage other kids to break the law. But what do? Well, maybe we're just kids, Your Honor. But instead of giving us trouble about taxes, the government ought to be glad we're out working on our own, setting a good example, and not stealing any hubcaps.
Your Honor, what is the point of this oration?
Your Honor, what is the point of making kids take a test they could never pass to get a pest control license they could never get anyway? Because they don't give them to kids.
Your Honor.
Your Honor, if Kidco's put out of business on account of licenses and taxes and crummy laws, what about all the other kids? They'll figure doing a good job and staying out of trouble will only get you in worse trouble. And then they'll take a lot of drugs and become a bunch of bums. And when they grow up, we're going to have a nation full of good-for-nothings. And I bet some foreign country will come in and take us over. And hundreds of years from now, people will look back and say, the United States was the greatest place in the world. And then they had to go and bust Kidco.
Objection.
The counsel for defense will apologize to the counsel for the prosecution for calling him a jerk.
Your Honor, my prior objection. The testimony of the defense's witness and this little diatribe that we've just heard, they have no bearing whatsoever on any of the charges brought before this court.
I see your point, Mr. Tusky. We will take an extended noon recess. And I encourage the counsel for defense to use this time to develop a line of questioning that will more directly address the issue of their innocence or guilt. Ooh. Mr. Tusky.
Right. The kid shot his mouth off, but no harm done. In fact, I'd say if you wanted to be here for the kill, could be this afternoon. Okay, Orville. See you soon.
Phil, I assume we're recommending leniency in this case.
Oh, I don't think so, Mel. Was that little shit lenient when he sent us all the way to Tijuana?
Oh, come on.
Mr. Cessna!
How do you feel
Yes,
We're talking. It's not a good meeting.
Neil, the must be 100 kids out there. I do it myself, but I'm kind of busy today.
Dickie, I'm a journalist covering the trial. Who's gonna believe I'm objective if I start selling these Kidco t-shirts?
Look, it's $5 a shirt, including the sales tax. And we'll give you 20% commission.
I could always say I was working undercover.
Can I get an interview?
Frank.
I had to be with you, Junie. Forget what I said about Kidco. I love you.
What about all the money you owe me, pal? You know we're in triple figures by now? I think I'll go help Neil.
Betty.
I'll let her go, Dad. We're all done here.
All done. What about your defense?
Nothing more we can do. Mr. Woodward said he'd get here as soon as he could.
Woodward?
Counsel for the defense.
Come on.
The court trusts you heeded its advice during the recess.
No worries, okay? He's deliveries 2 weeks.
Counsel. Counsel?
Yeah, Your Honor, but we might need a little more time. The defense calls Mr. Homer Woodward to the stand.
Is Homer Woodward in the courtroom? Yep. Take the stand, please. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yep. Be seated.
Thanks for coming, Mr. Woodward. Could you please tell everyone if you own Woodward's Feed Store in Ramona?
Yep.
And does my dad buy hay, oats, and straw from your store?
Yep.
And does my dad pay sales tax on everything he buys from you?
Yep.
Your Honor, the prosecution has not accused the defendant's father of not paying sales tax on horse feed.
Good. Because all Kidco sells is straw composted with manure, which used to be hay and oats. Your Honor, well, even us kids know that if your dad pays tax on the stuff going into the horse, well, we shouldn't have to pay more tax on the same stuff coming back out. I mean, we're getting taxed at both ends.
Mr. Tusky, the defense does make a strong argument that tax has already been collected on the item they're selling. Surely our state agencies don't seek to tax the same item twice.
Your Honor, the prosecution wishes a moment to confer.
George, I'm gonna nail that little slimy kid.
Look here, Phil.
Much of it's a fact that you don't have a taste.
Your Honor! Your Honor! On behalf of the Board of Taxation, we made a mistake.
Board of Taxation acknowledges its error. The charges against Kidco are dismissed. Dismissed. Yes, dismissed.
Your Honor! Your Honor! Your Honor! Your Honor!
Mr. Dusky.
Your Honor, the charges that the officers of Kidco failed to obtain a license and to reveal the contents of their fertilizer still remain before this court.
George, there must be some compromise we could work out.
Mr. Grundy has said that he doesn't want his department to appear too heartless. So then he might be willing to grant a special permit to Kidco till the officers come of age. Of course, the prosecution would expect a little something in return for these concessions.
Well, what do you have in mind, George?
A guilty plea on both remaining counts, with the court's assurance that they'll be fined for each offense. Judge, Grundy doesn't want to be embarrassed by this case any more than you do. But the state's not coming away empty-handed.
Would Kidco be willing to accept this compromise?
Oh, I don't know, Judge. We better talk it over with Nene and June first.
I understand. You have until tomorrow morning to give me your answer.
So, we're done paying the fine. We have a balance of $38.
But from now on, you'll be protected. You'll have the state off your back.
Mom, we didn't work that hard and make all that money just to lose it.
We know that, son.
It's after 7. Nene, do you have to watch the People's Court tonight?
Betty, the network news is on. Our interview.
The outcome has not yet been determined. We now switch you to Maggie Alexander at the Ramona County Courthouse.
People are always telling kids to get off their butts and do some work. Well, us kids did. Then we got busted for it. And if we let them do it to us, the paper boys will be next.
So you feel that you're fighting for other children as well as yourselves?
That's right. We got a lot of letters when we went on TV before. And we only wish that all those kids could come here to San Diego to show those bureaucrats that they can't push us kids around.
It has been brought to the court's attention that the defendants want to change their pleas to the remaining charges. Before those pleas are entered, I wish to commend the California State Board of Agriculture for its intention to make special allowances that will enable Kidco to resume its fertilizer production. However, this court must still rule on the conduct of Kidco's officers in the past. And so, albeit with great sympathy, I will hear their new plea to charges of violating the code of the California State Board of Agriculture.
The defendants will rise. June Cessna, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Bette Cessna, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Richard Cessna, Jr., how do you plead?
Guilty.
Janine Cessna, how do you plead?
Guilty. But it stinks.
The court accepts these pleas and in accordance with the laws of the state of California, fines the defendants
the sum of no more than, but no less than, the total of their illegal earnings from fertilizer sales to date.
I think I should spend some time alone here. Please. Excuse me, Mr. Cessna. We'd appreciate you not going outside. It could start a riot. What?
What are they shouting?
Are they shouting?
Hey!
Wait!
Out of the way, kid. I'm trying to get to my car. Please? Thank you. Harvey, I thought I told you not to come here today.
I didn't want to be the only kid in school. Bye, Dad!
They're not going to disperse unless you say something to them.
Go ahead. Okay. Sure. Come and get your orders in!